Vítám vás u takového druhého menšího tutoriálu, který dělám na Star Citizen. Jak jistě víte, nebo zaznamenali jste, tak vývojáři udělali nějakých 7 videí, které ukazují základní aspekty hry a učí vás vlastně, jak se v hře pohybovat. Je to dobře udělaný, není potřeba na to něco měnit. Já jsem udělal to, že jsem to prostě sestříhal do jednoho velkého videa a ty lidi, co to umějí nebo umějí anglicky, tak si to dobře dokážou přeložit a zahrát si bez toho, aniž by to překládali do češtiny. Já jsem to udělal tak, že jsem sestříhal to video do jednoho velkého videa, bude to mít 6 kapitol, začnu vlastně na portu Olisar, potom nějaký ty základy letecký přes quantum travel, pak jak vlastně bojovat, jaký jsou dogfighty a na závěr bude popis FPSka. Bude to teda v angličtině, ten originál, který vidíte tady na oficiálních stránkách Star Citizenu. Vynechám tady vytvoření účtu, to už jsme dělali, nebo můžete si to tady projet, jakoby na tohleto vloženě video dělat nebudu a popisky. Tam to je docela intuitivní a je to dobře popsaný. Já budu vyloženě si věnovat tomu leteckému simulátoru a FPSku. Přeložím to titulkama, budu se snažit tak nějak to zhruba prostě počeštit, aby lidi, kteří neumějí anglicky, aby si to mohli vlastně zahrát i bez znalosti anglického jazyka. Takže tohle je takový druhý tutoriál, přičemž ten tutoriál je na zatím verzi 3.4 a 3.5 patch, kde se doufám na ty 3.5 se nebudou měnit rozložení kláves. Je možný, že za nějaký čas, třeba za půl roku, za rok, se to zase změní, zase se to předělá a tohleto, co já tady popisuju v té češtině těma titulkama, tak už bude zase úplně někde jinde. Ale jako základ, myslím, to bude pořád platný ještě nějaký čas, řekněme 2-3 roky, než vyjde nějaká ta singleplayerová část. Takže užijte si to video, můžete se naučit tady lehce ovládat základní aspekty Star Citizenu. Já se budu těšit zase u dalšího videa. Naschle, už dál to nebudu komentovat a pojedou jenom titulky. Takže zatím.
Welcome back. When last we left off, you had successfully created an account, pledged for a game package, installed and launched Star Citizen. You even customized your character and decided to visit the Stanton system. But now, we're going to start getting into the fun stuff. You've earned it. After taking in a majestic loading screen, you'll wake up in an Easy Hab unit. Small Spartan living quarters for pilots on the go. To get up and get out of bed, press W. Head to the door, also by using W, which makes you move forward. Press F to interact with the door panel, and left click to open the door. Let's pause a moment to get intimately acquainted with the F key. That's right. This is what you'll use to interact with literally everything in the Star Citizen universe. Fastidiously fix it in your forebrain and familiarize so you forget it not. All right, moving on. We now find ourselves in the corridors of Port Olisar, a space station in orbit of the planet Crusader. Let's go over basic movement so that we can actually get around. W will move you forward. S moves you backward. Pressing D strafes right, while pressing A strafes to the left. To control the speed at which your character moves, use the mouse's scroll wheel. Scrolling up increases speed, while scrolling down decreases it. Pressing F1 brings up your Mobiglass, a wrist-worn personal assistant device that allows you to access various apps integral to playing Star Citizen. You'll want to familiarize yourself with it, but more on your Mobiglass later. For the time being, let's explore Port Olisar. Around the station, you'll find various shops and services. Interacting with people or items, again using F, will give you various options. Buy a gun, buy a new shirt, total makeover, why not? Have fun, but watch the number of credits in your wallet. Oh, what's that? Oh, spend all your credits? Hey, no problem. Remember your Mobiglass? Press F1 to bring that sucker up and open up the Contracts app. You'll see available contracts throughout the system that you can take on to earn credits. These contracts range from standard delivery jobs to criminal activities. It's nice to have options. We won't dive into a contract, but I'm sure you're eager to get in your ship and see what this space thing is all about. And in the next video, you'll do just that. So here endeth the tutorial. Until next time. Welcome back. So far, we woke up in Port Olisar, learned how to walk, went on a shopping spree, and got to know the F key really, really well. Now, it's time to get your spaceship and go see the stars. To get started, head to Deck 1 and find the center of the station. You can't miss it. But just in case, there are lots of signs posted around Port Olisar to help keep you on track. Deck 1 is the room with the big glowing hologram in the middle showing a huge planet, that's Crusader, and its various satellites. Around said hologram are several ASOP ship retrieval terminals. You'll use these to retrieve any ships you own from storage. Use the trusty F key to interact with the terminal, and let's get started. Your Fleet Manager program shows you all the ships you own and some information about those ships, including where they are currently being stored, their statuses, etc. On the far right, there are 3 buttons under Actions. There's the Claim button, which can be used to replace your ship if it happens to get stolen or blown up or something. Hey, space is crazy. There's the Track button, with which you can track your ships that aren't currently stored. But since our ship does happen to be stored here at Olisar, we're going to use the Retrieve button, which calls the selected ship to an open landing pad. Let's go ahead and retrieve our Aurora MR.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
You'll now receive a location to which the ship has been delivered. There it is. Great. You'll also get a waypoint on your HUD to make sure you don't get lost. Follow that excellent Port Olisar signage to the pad. Now to get to the actual pad, you'll have to go through this airlock. Make sure you have a helmet on. Cycle the airlock using, you guessed it, the F key, and head out to your ship. Keep on going. You're almost there. Hey, there she is, your Aurora MR. Isn't she beautiful? Let's get inside, shall we? Now, every ship in Star Citizen is different, and how you get into some of the ships isn't necessarily obvious. You'll use the F key to locate parts of the ship with which you can interact and find the entry point. The good news is that getting into your Aurora is fairly straightforward. Interact with the cockpit, get in, interact with the pilot's chair, take a seat. Use F yet again to locate the Flight Ready button. Fire it up with a left mouse click and we're ready to go. Your ship has various HUDs, multifunctional displays or MFDs, and things like that to provide you with the information needed to travel successfully around the verse. Here we have our hydrogen fuel meter. Hydrogen fuel is required for everything from basic movement to more advanced maneuvers, so make sure to pay attention to the level. Let's take off. Lift off the landing pad by pressing and holding the space bar. Remember not to sit on the landing pad too long or Olisar brass will boot your ship back into storage and you'll end up back in your easy hab. Hey, they do have a spaceport to run after all. Once far enough away from the pad, retract your landing gear by pressing N. Let's increase our speed and head towards space with the W key. The S key will lower our throttle and slow us down as needed. Next is forward velocity, showing how fast your ship is moving forward in meters per second. Note this only shows forward velocity, so your ship may be moving at different speeds in other vectors. Here you can see thruster output in newtons, as well as throttle, shown via percentage. There are also 2 flight status indicators that appear in this area, boost and afterburner. Boost increases the maneuverability of a ship by adding more fuel to maneuvering thrusters. Afterburner greatly increases the full velocity of the ship, shunting more thrust and fuel to the main thruster. Here you can see that we are in our Space Combat Maneuvers, or SCM flight mode, often considered the standard flight mode on which most pilots rely. It offers the best balance of maneuverability and speed. There's also Precision mode, linked with the ship's landing gear. With landing gear deployed, a ship will automatically enter Precision mode, reducing thruster output and top speed to allow for greater control. Precision mode is most often used for landing, but it can also be useful for negotiating tight spaces. I'm guessing you want to do more than just hang around taking up airspace at Olisar, so join us in the next video, where we'll go over the basics of maneuvering in space. Oh, hello again.
Takeoff complete.
Now that we've cleared the Olisar landing pad, let's go over some basic flight controls. As mentioned in the last video, W increases throttle and sets your ship's forward speed. S decreases throttle and slows the ship down. To pitch your ship's nose up or down, move the mouse up or down on the y-axis. To perform a yaw motion with your ship, move the nose of your ship left and right, move your mouse left and right along the x-axis. To roll your ship, press and hold Q to roll left, and E to roll right. Your ship also has strafe controls for translation motion in any desired direction. To strafe upward, press and hold the space bar. To strafe down, press and hold the control key. To strafe backwards, press the number 3 on your keyboard. To strafe forward, press the number 2. To strafe to the left, press and hold down the A key. To strafe to the right, press and hold down the D key. Remember, when using a keyboard, these movements will engage with maximum speed at maximum thrust, so tapping the keys may prove more beneficial in certain situations. While we're out here, let's quickly go over your ship's MFDs, or, as mentioned before, multifunctional displays. MFDs allow you to manually manage your performance of the ship and its components. While tweaking these options can add nuance to your experience, flying your ship in its default configuration will work just fine. To view your MFDs, activate the interaction mode using the F key, and you can zoom in on specific MFDs using the scroll wheel on your mouse. First, we have the heat menu, which shows us how much heat is being generated by a system or item, with the option to suppress heat generation in exchange for performance. Next is the self-status menu, which tells us how our own ship is faring. The following MFD menu is shields, which allows you to allocate a particular shield face with more power if needed, and a slider to define the overall usage of shields. Next is the weapons menu, which shows off the amount of power allocated to weapons and the number of missiles available to use. The power menu defines the amount of energy produced by the power plant and how much energy can be used by the shields and weapons. The target status menu lets us know, well, the status of whatever ship or entity we're currently targeting, but we'll go over that a little later. Then there's the comms menu. Generally used when near a populated point of interest, comms allow you to contact air traffic control towers for landing permissions, as well as chatter with other pilots. Let's head back to Olisar and request permission to land, shall we? I think we shall. As we approach Olisar, we'll use that trusty F key to interact with the comms menu. You'll see Port Olisar Landing Services as an option. Call them by left-clicking on this little icon. The friendly folks at OLS will tell you to proceed to the designated landing pad, which will be marked on your HUD with this little wrench icon. Maneuver your ship to the right pad. Make sure to deploy your landing gear with N before landing. You're almost there. Position yourself over the landing pad and use the control key to set her down.
Collision alert.
Easy now. Oh,
Collision
there you
alert.
go.
Rear landing.
Perfect landing. In the next video, we'll go over how quantum travel works and start exploring the moons of Crusader. Excited? I know I am. Hi there. Now that you know how to fly, basically, let's get you out there exploring the universe. So, let's assume you've woken up in your Easy Hab, made your way to Deck 1, retrieved your Aurora at an ASOP terminal, located your ship, gotten in, fired it up, and gotten the heck out of Olisar. You with me? Now, let's select a destination. We can do this via the Skyline feature in the Mobiglass. Press F1 to bring up the Mobiglass. Navigate to the Skyline application. You can also automatically open Skyline using the F2 key. Once in the app, you'll see this nifty 3D star map. You can use the scroll wheel to zoom out, the left mouse click to rotate, and you can use the right mouse click to drag the map around. Around you, you can see a couple of points of interest. You can also travel across the system to the planet Hurston, its moons, and further points of interest. But for now, let's head to one of Crusader's moons, Yela. First, click on Yela. You'll notice a path is generated on the star map from you to Yela. Click on Set Route to confirm your choice. Skyline will then let you know how much fuel is needed for the intended journey and how much you currently have in the tank. From here, you can go ahead and exit the mobiglass by pressing F1 again. You'll now need to align the ship with Yella by lining up the nose with the destination marker on your HUD. Once aligned, as you can see, there is quite some distance between you and the destination. And given the speed you're currently traveling at, you won't make it there anytime soon. Don't worry though. The Aurora MR and most ships come equipped with a quantum drive. A quantum drive will let us cover the distance to Yella in a fraction of the time. To use it, stay aligned with Yella until calibration has reached 100%. But right now, you may be coming to the conclusion that some quantum drives take a bit of time to calibrate. And quantum travel itself also takes a while, depending on how far you're going. Luckily, you have your mobiglass. QT is a great time to explore it. Peruse contracts, scan channels, tinker with your loadout, whatever. Oh, here we go. Once your drive is calibrated, press B to start spooling. To speed up this whole process a bit, you can start your spool while the drive is calibrating. Either way, once the drive is fully spooled, press and hold B for a short period of time. Once quantum travel is engaged, you can let go of the key. As you've probably noticed, space travel takes a while, even when using your quantum drive. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. There it is, Yella, Crusader's icy moon. You made it!
Quantum drive.
But what if the area you want to visit is on the other side of the moon? Well, open your mobiglass again and hop back into Skyline. Rotate the map using the left mouse button and find a point of interest on the far side of Yella. There. How about that mining station? Click on it. Click on Set Route. Close your mobiglass with F1. Now, you're already familiar with the QT process, so let's speed it up this time around. Once calibrated, engage your quantum drive. Remember, that's B to spool, and then holding B again to engage, and you'll automatically swing around the moon to your destination. Pretty cool, right? Of course, you'll still have to manually close the gap between you and wherever it is you're actually headed. Use your throttle and bring her in. Now, to land, all you have to do is line yourself up with the moon's surface like so, make sure your landing gear is deployed, set your ship down nice and gentle. What is this, your first time landing on a moon? Oh, I guess it is. Never mind. To get out, use and hold the F key to exit your chair. Then F again to leave the cockpit. Now, you can take in the natural beauty of Yella. Just keep an eye on your oxygen and vitals, and whatever you do, don't take your helmet off. Now that you have the basics down, get out there and have some adventures. Take a contract. Try a scramble race. Travel to Hurston and see the big city. Hey, it's up to you. The main thing to remember is have fun, and we'll see you in the verse. Oh, hello. You've come seeking the breathless thrill of the galactic hunt and the white-knuckle intensity of hardcore ship-on-ship combat, eh? Well, you've come to the proper place, because in this tutorial, we're gonna cover the basics of dogfighting. The best place to practice basic flight combat without risking your actual ship is Arena Commander. Access Arena Commander from the Star Citizen main menu. You'll find yourself here, where you have options to rent and customize a ship, check out the leaderboards, join others in a ranked or unranked multiplayer match, invite friends into a private match, or safely practice in single player. For now, click on Single Player. Arena Commander has a few different game modes, but for now, we're gonna take on some pesky pirates. Click on Pirate Swarm, then click on Select/Rent Ship. For today's lesson, we'll be using the Roberts Space Industries Aurora Marquis, or MR for short. This lesson will assume that you understand basic flight mechanics, and if you don't, check out the previous 3 tutorial videos for a rundown. Before you know it, a bunch of pirate ships will enter the arena and start giving you hell. You'll know them by their red HUD icons. Let's go over how to select a target of interest. There are 3 ways to accomplish this. First, you can use the R key to actively target anything near your center crosshair. You can also cycle through anyone painted as a hostile via the Y key, and you can cycle through friendly mutual targets via the U key. Actively targeting allows you the benefit of gaining a target's status as well as the use of predicted impact points, or PIPs, provided you're within weapon range. PIPs are your targeting computer's best guess as to where your projectiles will land when fired and are calculated based on the relative motion of your ship versus your target's. You have the option of using lead or lag pips, which you can change in the game's main settings menu. Lag pips tell the pilot precisely where their shots will go based on the relative motion of each ship and require the pilot to move the pip over the desired target to land successful hits. Now that we know how to target and use pips, it's time to go over some of the specifics with your weaponry. To fire your weapons, press the left mouse button. If you've been firing your weapons for a while, you might notice them suddenly stopping and a small amount of time passing before they resume firing. This is your weapons overheating. If you find your weapons are overheating often, maybe ease up on that trigger finger. You may have noticed that both guns fire simultaneously. This doesn't have to be the case, however, as different guns can have different firing groups. To change the firing group of your weapon, navigate to your Weapons menu on a nearby MFD. Select the Guns tab on the Weapons menu, and under Group, you will note that both weapons are in Group 1. Clicking on the 1 will change this to the next available weapons group. In this case, Group 2. Group 2 is bound by default to your right mouse button. Go ahead and press that right mouse button. See, you can now fire both guns independently of each other. Handy for situations where you'd want a more constant stream of projectiles. Many ships, including this Aurora MR, come with an array of missiles. To use them, simply stay on target and use the middle mouse button to acquire a lock. Once fully locked on, press and hold the middle mouse button to unleash your missiles. Of course, enemy ships sometimes have missiles too. And that's where countermeasures come in. Press V to change between them, and press C to deploy them. Remember, firing off a countermeasure won't instantly fix your missile problems, and some maneuvering may be required. Now, practice is the only clear path to dogfighting mastery. So without further ado, go forth and blast some pirates out of the sky. And we'll see you in the verse, pilots. Hello there. What's that you say? Blasting faceless pilots out of the sky just a touch too impersonal for you? Well, this tutorial is for you, and anyone out there with a perpetually itchy trigger finger. That's right, it's time to go over the basics of FPS combat. We're going to assume that you are somewhat familiar with basic movement, but if you aren't, head back to the Welcome to Port Olisar tutorial and check it out. Beyond the basics, you can press the Control key to crouch and the X key to go prone. Pressing and holding down Shift will make your character sprint. To pull your sidearm, press 1. To pull your first primary weapon, press 2. And for your second primary weapon, press 3. Pressing N will holster any weapon you have drawn. When your weapon is drawn, you can lean left with Q or lean right with E. And you can hold the right mouse button to aim down your weapon's sight. Left mouse button fires. Pressing G will throw a grenade should you have any equipped. Make sure to keep an eye on your status, especially in the heat of battle. If you take damage, you can press V to use any healing items you may have equipped, and if you're running out of air, press B to use an oxygen pad. Now, just like with dogfighting, you'll only get better with practice, so get out there and pick some fights, or grab some friends and try your hand at Star Marine, our multiplayer FPS simulation and a great place to hone your skills as a gunslinger. That's it for now, Pilgrim. We'll see you in the verse.